Hi, I'm Sandi Genovese and welcome to this episode of the Ellison Education Video Series. Well, it's about time that we tackled the idea of time, and we're going to be looking today at how to create a chart like this one that helps the students to learn analog time, where they've got a clock that's represented, just like the circle of the clock, as well as the hands that are able to move freely because you have a brad in the middle. And what you want to reinforce is not just the telling of time, but the time of the day. For instance, if you look at the cards right below each clock, this stack is indicating the morning with breakfast time, where they would swivel the hands on the clock to indicate the correct number. And then here would be lunchtime, and there would be several cards that indicate what time you want them to move the hands to. And then here would be bedtime. So if you ask them to show you 9 o'clock, they would place the hands like so. In order to create this, you want to start first by cutting out the clocks. And that's where the beauty of a die cutting machine like the Ellison is so handy. I'm going to be using, you might know this as the All-Star or the Biggs Classroom Series, but I'm going to cut it in the Big Shot Pro machine, which means I need to put the adapter pad and then the crease pad. Then I'm going to go ahead and place the die, and I'm going to cut several clocks at once, but I want the hands on the clock to be black, so I'm going to use black paper as well when I place it right over the blade of the die. And then I'll take and I'll put the cutting pad over the top. I'm going to roll it through. You could do the same thing if you're cutting it in the All-Star Superstar. The machine will cut that just as well. And I'll bring this around and show you all those loose pieces here, how wonderfully and how quickly you can create all of these clock faces, as well as the hands that you're going to use in order to indicate the actual time. So if I want just to use the black, let me pull the black up and show you how you would position those. The holes are even already there on the die. They're part of what's cut. When you cut everything, it cuts the holes as well, so you don't have to punch anything. And I'm going to just take a brad. This is a really big brad. My dad would call this the "oh for Pete's sake" size. You probably don't need one quite that big, but you can see how quickly you can actually put together a clock that is then ready for the students to go back and just with a crayon or a marker to label the numbers on the clock, all of which is part of them learning. And then you're able to take these and turn this into something like this chart. It helps them to learn not only the actual time and how to use the hands to mimic the time that you're asking, but also, as I said, times of the day, and even the concept of yesterday and today and tomorrow. All of this can be done simply by using the clock dies. Now that's if you want to talk about analog time. Another possibility is if you want to look at digital. So many clocks these days are digital. It's a good thing for them to understand that digital is another way of telling time. You can do the same thing, practicing the hours and the minutes by just using the number dies, and then using it to create a flip chart that helps you to be able to talk about what time it is and do it in a digital way. And if you want to combine something like literature with the study of time, how fun is it to have something like this clock that can still have hands that move, but that combines with literature in the phrase that's on there. You can create a clock to demonstrate analog time, or you can use the number dies to create a digital clock. Either way, this is an idea whose time has really come.